excited.
Y'all ready? We're going in 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, welcome back to another edition of the BS of Entrepreneurship podcast. We are so excited. This week. We're so excited.
So excited.
This is a podcast that you come to if you're a 9-to-5er and you're looking to become an entrepreneur, or even if you're a full-time entrepreneur, but you're just looking for different ideas and strategies of how can you grow. What we typically cover here is the mindset of an entrepreneur, how you need to think, how your customers are thinking, and we try to help you along with that. Well, my name is Frankie P. This is
Maria P.
And I am Tracy.
All right.
P.
And we
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. But we have a special guest today, and we're going to allow Maria to do the honors. Could you please do the honors?
Well, Miss Angela Gordan is a tax consultant. She's also, what did they say, moonlights as my bookkeeper for my business here. Angela's been in the business for a very long time. She's really good at what she does. And I'm going to give Angela the floor so she can give you all the details about her business and tax consulting.
Hey, Angela.
Hi, yes, I'm Angela's Tax and Financial Services. I've been doing taxes for 26 years, 25 years with a license. It's kind of like different. Yes, I fell into this.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I fell into this, not that I wanted to be an accountant. I'm a trained accountant by trade. I've been doing accounting for 39 years.
Wow.
So, and I've been the type of person that you just pick up and I'm trainable, from CFOs to whoever needs me in any type of accounting department.
Oh.
And I can just fill in where they left off once I'm trained to it. So, I don't have a degree, but that's on paper. But I paid for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, before we jump there, let's kind of come all the way back across the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
And tell us, how did Angela get started, and where did you come from? Where are you from?
Well, I'm from D.C. originally.
Okay.
But
what part?
on W Street, Southeast D.C.
Southeast.
Yes.
In the house.
Graduated from Ballou High School.
Okay.
You know. Yes. Yeah, but I kind of like fell into this.
Okay.
Because I was paying a guy from our church to do my dad's taxes, and my husband at that time, he had 3 cleaning contracts. So Michael was doing his taxes, my dad's taxes, and my taxes. And my husband's business was owing. And one year, we had just paid him in 1994. We had just paid Michael $639 for the taxes. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, Brooks Cleaning Service was in the red. And that year, I went downtown. My supervisor, the controller, sent me downtown to get some corporate tax forms. Mm-hmm. So I was waiting at IRS, and I saw all these forms on the wall. And I'm like, wow, there's Schedule H, there's Schedule E, there's Schedule D. Those are the forms Michael charged us all this money for. I'm going to find out how much they cost. Mm-hmm. So I can have them for him so he won't charge us as much. And so when I got to my turn and I asked the lady how much was the form, she said, sweetie, all these forms in here are free. Well, at that time, I got a lump in my throat and the voice in my head that said, our people perish for lack of knowledge, and teach them. And I'm like saying to myself, the whole ride Silver Spring, why would he charge us this much money? You know,
This was in 1999.
This was 1994.
1994.
And so when I got home, I told Wallace, I said, you know what? I know debits, credits, forecastings, but I don't know tax. I'm going to do the taxes myself. And I told him the situation of what I found out. And he didn't. He just said, okay, if that's what you're going to do. You know, men, they just said, okay, if you're going to do that, fine. So I brought TurboTax. I brought TurboTax Home Business. So in buying TurboTax Home Business, there were books at that time because there was no computers or anything else at that time. I was in Sam's and I was looking in this book that was Ernst & Young's Tax Guides for Individual Taxpayer and Small Businesses. So as we're in the store, I started thumbing through the book. And I looked at some of the deductions. I'm like, oh my God, you could write off this? You could write off this? Nobody is telling us that we could write off.
So what was the first thing that you, based on your knowledge, what was the first thing that you remember that kind of excited you, that you grabbed a hold to?
Well, the first thing I did was expenses. Medical expenses, car expenses, what was it? Car tags. Anything to deal with traveling, I didn't realize that you could write off. I had no idea you could write off. Okay. So at that time, you know, I'm penny pinching and I'm like, wow, this book is $30. You know what I mean? But I brought the book.
And we paid this guy $639.
Yes. So I brought the book, and I mainly brought the book just to apply to his business because his business is what was owing money. He was owing like $13,000 to IRS from the business because the money he was making and wasn't paying any taxes on it, and they were just, which I know now is called straight lining. You know what I mean?
What is straight lining?
Straight lining means is that whatever number you put in off of the W-2 or 1099, no taxes, whatever comes out, that's what you owe. And that's what we were doing.
Is that how
a lot of them do that still now. You know, like I'm not pinching H&R Block or anything else like that, but I was trained at Jackson Hewitt because, as I was saying, when I told him that, I said, I know debits, credits, forecasting, but I don't know taxes and their law. So that made me take a class. Okay. So that's when I took under Jackson and Hewitt. Let me back up a little bit. I wasn't going to take a class. I was just doing it freelancer just to do his business.
For your husband?
Yes, for my husband. And then I was decided to do my daughter and her friend and everybody else because I was reading everything. And the year that I did my daughter's friend Raymond's taxes, he came in and said his accountant said he owed $8,000. Well, now I'm in my second year of reading. I'm like, no, it's no way you and your son owe $8,000. I said, how many ventures did you have? Because I'm learning now about entrepreneurs, you know? Okay. And he said, well, I just had 3. I'm like, no, you don't. So I said, I guarantee you might owe $1,500 or you owe no taxes at all. And that's when he said, Ange, if you can get me $1,500, I'll pay you $500. Well, that's a challenge back in there. I like challenges, you know. So in the challenge, he ended up with the earned income credit because you allowed to lose capital on your entrepreneur. Every adventure could lose $5,000.
Ho. Okay. So, so are you saying the initial venture, when you open it, you're allowed to lose $5,000?
Well, that's the minimum they want you. You can lose up to $5,000 on a new capital, yes.
Okay. And what is considered a new venture? What is
when you just started and you say, I'm starting this business, all the startup costs are null and void.
Wow. So is that why people start up businesses? So they might have an umbrella business, and then they'll pick down and just start different businesses under the umbrella?
Well, it's not easy as that because once you get your ID number from IRS, once the business is registered, okay, you can only do whatever you say that business tagline is for. So when it's coded, like mine is a tax code, okay? Maria is basically, is it real estate? Basically, you have a real estate code. So whatever you say that tax ID number is, that's what you venture in. If you want to do something else under that, you using your social security number, not the tax ID number that you got to start that business.
So I couldn't put the Swimply business. It would have to go under the tax number. I mean, my personal tax ID.
That is correct.
I can't put it under my prime resource ID.
No, not unless you no, let me back up some. Unless you under a corporation.
I am.
Well, if you're like a S corp or C corp or partnership.
So can you break it down for with the difference between the S corp and the C corp? Just real quick.
S corp is sole proprietor. It's just a standard person owning a business, and he want to defer all his taxes.
Okay.
That's what a lot of clients are gravitating to. Or if I'm doing your taxes, if I see you make a certain plateau, I'm like, it's time to move S to S corporation.
Okay.
So in the S corporation, you get to write off everything, and whatever's left comes on a K1, and you file that under the 1040. And the same for the partnership. If you have a business partnership, or what is it? It's a partnership.
Okay.
It's partnership. But the only thing with partnerships is you must. If you say, if I'm going in business with you, I need to have it broken out. What's going to do if you decide you want to quit? I have partners from heck. Okay, that nothing is signed, and I'm building them. Seriously, I'm building them so that their business is legitimate.
Okay.
And if they don't know, which a lot of African Americans, it might be some Caucasians or whatever, but we don't know the rules. And so when you come to me, just like it told me at the beginning, I teach you. Because I'm gonna be a multimillionaire one day, and I'm not gonna be doing taxes.
So I'm gonna touch on Tracy, and so she does cooking from her house.
Right.
So how can she utilize? I guess can she write off the tools that she purchased, the ingredients that she buy? How can it help someone?
Well, Tracy, if she didn't have a tag now, she didn't get a 1090. IEIN number for that business. Say Tracy's Foods. Right now, it's Tracy's Foods. Whatever she calls it, it's with all her receipts under her Social Security number, and it's a legitimate business.
Okay.
So I try to recommend, like I would tell Tracy that when she gets, she might start it out this year. That's why a lot of people want you to start with your Social Security number to see if this is going to be a business. Because in 3 years, you will know if this is a profit margin for you, if this is something you want to continue to do, or is it a hobby?
So a beginning entrepreneur should, the first 2 or 3 years, you just simply utilize their Social Security number to file their taxes and do a total. How is that?
Schedule C.
A Schedule C.
They will be on a Schedule C. If they're making, say the beginning entrepreneur makes $25,000.
Okay.
He's good. He can write it all off, I say when he gets to $70,000, then he should, that's just my preference, he should be thinking about, this is really a business because he's not doing anything else but this. So he line it up, then right after he lines it up, I'm like, okay, it's time to pay estimated taxes.
Okay.
And in estimated taxes,
how does that work when you estimate your tax?
Well, I calculate them. I even do projections. Like if you say you're going to make $180,000, I'm going to do federal taxes on $180,000. I'm going to go into it's an ES tax calculator, and it'll tell me how much money you need to pay quarterly.
Okay.
So for federal and state.
Okay.
It'll tell you how much you need to pay for both of those.
And quarterly is January, March, June, and October?
No, it's March, June every quarter.
Okay.
And then, but the last quarter in December counts for January of next year. I don't know how IRS has it, but they have it. But you can write it off, for that.
So if someone has a tax bill now, how would what would your recommendation be going forward with their taxes? Can they retroactively get that amount that they owed? Can they get it down?
Well, yeah, well, you're talking about like optimum tax. You mean if they have a high tax bill? First of all, if they have a high tax bill that they have, and I've had one, and I'm really happy, and I can say he owed $72,000. He came to me in 2016. I amended his taxes. I told him this is the scheduled payment, what his withholding should be. Don't move them, put them at this.
Okay.
And he's tax free. He doesn't owe anything now.
So what about the 72,000?
It's gone. He paid it off.
Oh, so he just had to
Right.
make
I
payments.
amended 3 years that I could because it started back in 2000. I got him in 2016. I amended 17 and 18, which was eligible to be done. He came to me in 19.
Okay.
So when I finished with him, it was down to 45,000 or something like that. And then once I scheduled him with his refunds and the estimated taxes, what I had him, it was paid off like in 5 years, 4 to 5 years.
Can you be in a situation where when would someone be recommended to maybe make a settlement or something like that?
Well, I usually call in offering compromise. That's
Okay.
what it is.
Okay,
offering compromise. Usually I have one now that's out of Norfolk, Carolina. Haven't gotten into all crunching all her numbers yet because there's a lot of swanky people out here that make you have a business or inflate your taxes when you don't have to. It's enough things. Me personally, I don't like offering compromise unless I'm going through IRS website myself.
Okay.
And you can do that. And what I'll do is I'll get all their bank history, all their income, and see what the tax debt is. And then I submit it for them that way. And I've only gotten a $10,000 reduction on one, you know what I mean? But it was better. I've been, well, not like tax court. My limo company, he owed like $70-something thousand, and going back and forth, getting all his receipts and everything together for him. He was mad because after 2 years back and forth in person in tax court, me representing him and him there, it ended up being $25,000, and he was still complaining, and I wanted to smack him upside his head.
Nice drop.
I wanted to smack him upside his head and said, "That's a car. Just make the payments." You know what I mean? But he's still my son. You know, like that.
Okay.
Don't you have to wait or something? You can't just say, "Oh, I owe this money. Can I do an offer and compromise?"
Right. It's a period. It's a 3 to 5 year period of time. First of all, they want to see if you're gonna pay. Some people just don't want to pay. You know, but and it has to be a certain amount. It's not like if it's 10,000. Unless you don't have any income, unless you're totally disabled or something of that nature, they're going to work out some kind of payment. $50. You know, I've had one that tried not to pay $7,000, wanted to do offer and compromise on. So ended up paying just $50. Their payment was $150, and they just lowered it to $50 since they said they was having such a hardship.
Okay, so they requested an offer and compromise. It didn't reduce the amount, but they reduced the amount he had to pay monthly.
Right.
Okay.
And that they give you usually like 7-10 years or something like that on that one, and then you do it again.
What? After the 10
You
years?
can go back and see if it's not paid off. You can just go in and do it again to see if,
so it's a life
you know,
for life.
Yeah, till it's gone.
Yeah.
Till it's gone.
So, I have a question. Is it okay for me to ask a question?
Sure.
Oh, thank you, honey. Anyway, I was thinking, for people who have businesses, would it be better for them to get an EIN number and to do everything legitimately? Because a lot of people I hear don't want to. They're under the table. They're getting paid under the table. They don't want to file this business. You know, even some people come to us and can you just pay us cash? No, we cannot, because we have to record all of this information for IRS. Would you tell them that it's better to go ahead and create a business, a real business model, instead of doing this cash under the table?
Yes,
Or
I
does
would.
that go back to, I'm sorry, or does that go back to what you said, use your social for the first 3 years?
Yes.
First. And then, if you're gaining money
Right.
from it.
Right. No, but my point is, like I said, you got a lot of people out here that are scared
That's what it is.
to create a business. Even if they're using their social, they don't want to. So what is the benefit of saying, I'm a business owner, I'm going to use
Losing.
mine?
Yeah, they are.
They're losing.
Okay.
It's not something to be scared of, for real, except for if they file taxes or if they don't file taxes. I mean, you always have an opportunity, a chance that you're going to get paid from cash from something. Somebody going to pay you cash.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're going to go to honor system, I mean, I have in my software, when they pay cash, it calculates it. But if they don't want to, they really don't want to. It's not a business.
Right.
It's not it's a hobby that they have. That's according to IRS's rules. If you call yourself a business and you acting on or whatever and you're not filing taxes, it's a hobby.
That makes sense.
That does.
I can't wait to tell that to some people.
You don't have to just have
You
to watch
really
this.
don't even have a business. You
Just have to watch
one.
just have to watch this.
I say that though, but not like that. I'm like, what
Right.
kind of if you're not filing tax, how's it business?
Right. It is a business to them in their mind.
Yeah.
And it's best to get set up because people can get an EIN number on IRS and never use it. You know what I mean? Until they're ready to use it. I mean,
Right.
because you said it, but the state of Maryland, if you live in the state of Maryland,
Okay.
and you have a business that is a Schedule C that's attached to the 1040, that's small business. Schedule C's are small businesses, okay? You have to pay the Maryland assessment taxes. That is a must. Or
What is the Maryland assessment?
Maryland is a license. It's like a Maryland license to do business in the state of
Are you
Maryland.
talking about that annual fee?
Yeah, that annual $309 or they
It's
load it.
$350.
Depends on corporation or whatever.
Oh, well, for me, it's $350.
Right.
Pay that 309.
Yes. So, and what I usually tell my clients is that,
And it's tax deductible, right?
yeah, I put it on everybody's taxes,
Pay that
like that I
309.
do it. And I don't wait for them to call me up and say, oh, I'm not in good standing. So if you're a business and I'm doing your taxes, I'm doing your assessments at the same time. So I'll just put it on your tax bill. You know what I mean? So I don't have to worry
A lot
about
of
it.
times people don't even remember about that.
And that's why they had me. Because I do. When I file it's due the same time. Both of them due at the same time.
When do they do?
They're due April 15th.
April 15th. Okay.
Unless they give you an extension, like Maryland this year gave you till June 19th or something like that.
Okay.
June or July, one of them.
So 2 more months they gave you.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Well, let me jump over here because if and we were just touching bases on this a little earlier. So if you have a business, or even if you don't have a business, but you're thinking about getting a vehicle, how can a vehicle help us out without taxes or without business?
well, your vehicle is deductible. It's 100% depreciable. Now, you could do a 179. 179 means that you started this business, you using it for mileage, and you put how much you cost, the vehicle cost down there, and you can say, I want to spread it out over the 5 years, or I want to depreciate it 100%. That's only on the first time. When you put the
What
vehicle.
you saying? You had to buy a car?
No, you can use your car. If you've never depreciated your car before and you put that car on the business, you tell me how much you paid for the car, and then on that selected, it says, do you want to depreciate it at 179, or if it was bought before 2017, and part of the economical, whatever it says, and you check yes, it's going to depreciate, give you all the money to come back to you.
Well, is that why people keep buying cars? Over and over,
Well,
every
it
5 or 6 years, because
Well,
I know some
sometimes
people
they
that do
lease.
that have businesses, or they do leasing too. Is leasing a better option?
Only in your pocket. Well, let me take that back. Leasing, you can write off the gas, right? You can't write off the mileage because it's not your car. You can't depreciate it because it's not your car. So you're writing off the gas and any really maintenance if you don't have anything underneath of that. But leasing is just basically to not be liable for any of the maintain of the expenses on it. I've been out here for a while, and I'm like, you lease when it's time to trade in, you could buy it, and then you go back for the price you have, and then you depreciate it. It starts over again. So I have several clients that leased, and I just put the lease on there and track it. And sometimes they said some of the things have on there to say how much you pay in a month, and it's calculated in there. But I try to, unless you a big business, like I have a daycare, and actually that's a good question you asked. The daycare, she's an LLC. I am about to do the 2553. I'm getting ready to put her in S corporation. She has grown in 3 years from 250, and this year she made 960.
Wow.
So she has 23 employees, and it's a lot of expenses and everything that she has. She's losing money because she's not able to put her she's not getting a credit for federal withholdings for her employees because she's on LLC. And the problem why she has not been moved is just getting on the same page with her payroll.
Okay.
So now when she comes to pick up her taxes, because they're completed, I have the forms for her to send to her payroll to say she's switching entities and what forms I'm going to need at the end of the year, but it's for 2023 tax year, not 2022.
Well, she needs to come on to the show too and share with everyone how she exploded so quickly.
Right,
over
she
a
has
3-year period of time. Yes.
Victorious Kids. She's out in Indian Head. Very sweet woman, loves children, and everyone comes through me through referrals. I don't advertise.
Wow.
I have a website and everything, but they all come through a friend of a friend or family or someone tell me. My clients are from the state of Washington to Florida. A lot of them, 3/4 of them I've never even met.
So you can do taxes in any state?
Any state.
Oh, okay.
That's a United States of America.
Or territory.
Yes,
so you just
territory.
need one do you have to be licensed?
Well, my software is licensed for all 50 states.
Ah, okay.
So that's what it is on that one, how I do that.
That's cool though. So you can go anywhere.
Yes.
That is a great business.
So now, I know we're going into the climate control, or what is it? Climate change, and we're going into the energy efficiency. So can you share with us how the credits may work if someone were to get like solar panels, and then also when it comes back down, how that could work with the vehicle also?
Right. Well, I have a client that 1 year they got solar panels and they got a $10,000 credit that came back to them in their pocket. They paid maybe $38,000, $40,000 for the panels to be installed, but they got a $10,000 credit just for that. This year, she brought an electric vehicle and she got a hookup for the electric vehicle. It's, with the credits, she got the vehicle credit this year, and she got the plug credit because she hooked it up. And she was the one that told me that when you have solar panels, that you can get a plug if you choose thinking about getting a vehicle, so you don't have to have it plugged up. And it's on the outside of her house. It's not in the garage. She has it so the plug could be on the outside of the house. You get a credit for not just solar panels, solar water heaters, solar windows. You get it. Installation of doors that you get for that one.
How long are these credits for?
Just the first time you file.
What you mean?
Like,
so
if
I have to use the solar. I have to do all of them this year, or can I?
No,
spread
whenever
them
the year
over?
you bought. Nope.
So I can do solar panels this year.
Oh yeah, you can.
Year,
yes, if you want to just save the money. I mean, you know what I mean. Save the credit. Well, it's supposed to be done the year you bought it.
Well, because if you're in a situation where you can't afford the solar panels and the windows and the doors and a car,
when you get them, it puts on there every year.
Okay.
But you can only use the credit for that particular year.
Yes, for that year that you purchased the information.
Gotcha.
And when you say purchase, obviously, so you can get it financed, but as long as you're purchasing it and you can just have,
they're going to give you a contract to say how much it is and how much you paying them. or whatever it is that you have it on there.
And then you can write off that amount and get the tax credit that particular year.
Yes, because I'll put in the $38,000 in it. My software calculates how much your credit will be on there.
What was that? The price of the car? $38,000.
No, that was the price of her solar panels in.
Oh, the solar panels. Okay.
The solar panels was 38.
Because I'm looking at this federal tax credit up to $7,500 for an EV car.
Right.
And they also will allow you to buy anything built to 2010, so you can get a used car.
Used car. Don't do it.
But I'm assuming that they're only going to give you so much of that $7,500.
Well, if it's
credit.
a new car, you're going to get the full credit.
The full, but
if it's used, it's prorated down
Okay.
for that.
But at least you still get something if
Right.
it's used.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, if I can find something.
Yeah, they got a lot of them.
They don't. There's no cars out there, you guys. None.
Don't say that. They're gonna raise the prices up some more.
Well, they already doing it. I was listening
I'm not paying
this
it.
afternoon
And
how
other
they-
people, y'all need to get
they're
on the
paying-
bandwagon. Don't do it.
No, it's the consumer. Seriously,
Yeah, 'cause
it's the
if you stop,
consumer. If
it
you
is. I agree.
stop and
They're
just
gonna-
say, forget this, you know what I mean? They'll bring everything
Lower
back.
the prices down.
They'll
Well,
bring it back.
They
Because
will.
what's happening is, and I was, like I said, I was looking at a show, and whenever you're buying a car, the dealer is actually not selling you the car that you're looking at. He's selling you a car that's on its way. So what's happening now is there may be a car on the lot, but he's not selling you the car on the lot. He may be selling you the car that's on the truck that's coming. Or that's being made that's going on the truck that's coming.
You're saying what? In today's market?
In today's market, but what's happening is there are no cars being put on the trucks or that are being made to replace this car that's here.
But that's really funny because when I was in New Jersey, going and coming, the lot is full
Look
of
like a
cars.
It's only certain lots that don't really have a lot of cars.
Okay.
What I'm
But there
finding-
were so many
I'm with
trucks.
you. It's a
I
lot
was
of
at-
cars
I was-
out here.
yeah, I was-
feel like it's
I was
just
at the
like
port.
the housing market. They just it
Right.
goes up and it goes
At the
down.
port.
Depending on where you want.
I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? I don't know what type of cars they were, but they were rows and rows and rows of them.
Yeah, they're at the port.
Yeah.
They can't find anybody to transport them.
I
They're
had
having a hard
5
time.
transporters
Well,
under.
you need to tell them to bring me a couple of Toyota Siennas.
If you got a
that's
transport
what I want
business,
right
make sure
now.
you get in contact with Angela.
you
Let her know.
My clients transport cars. Yeah, that's what they do. Two
that's
of
a
them
good
just got
business
into
now.
it
Yeah.
this year. Yeah.
But that's why they got into it this year, because there's nobody doing it. They're having a really hard time.
So we need to interview someone who's transporting cars.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Same thing with
Mr. Fralin. We can ask him. I don't know if he transports. I know he transports. He's a trucker. So
And it's I have 4 tractor trailer guys, right? And their life is a tax deduction.
their life.
You know, I said life is tax deductible because everything is deductible for them. You know, and we have to realize that when you into a business and you starting a business, you get to write off not just the mortgage interest or anything else. You get to write off the electricity, the gas, the cable, the water bill, the house phone bill. You know, you get the alarm service, the internet service. That's why I say when you start a business, your life is a deduction. You just got to keep up with the receipts.
Right, with the paperwork.
Right. And I would say please have a accounting software that you use, you know.
So the regular person like us, we need an accounting software in order to give to you at the end of the year.
It would be
or
real nice instead of sending me a big box like some of them do.
a shoebox full of paper.
No, not shoebox, Federal Express box and paper boxes.
Remember that? And you're trying to read the receipt.
Have you like found software that you recommend to your
Yeah, I
clients?
like, what is it? I have QuickBooks, but I'm looking into some other ones too that do a little bit more extensive than QuickBooks, and that is, what do I want to say, bookkeepers? I'll have to give you
So
that
that's
name.
for your client.
That's for my clients. Well, right now, my clients that don't have software, I have created 4 different type spreadsheets in Excel. I know Excel very well. And I have created it and put formulas in them. So if they mess them up, just put the numbers in there. You know what I mean? I can figure it out. And I'll just send it to them and says, I want it every month. I have it month categorized. I have it going across, and all you got to do is fill in a number so I can
I
have
have
a
it?
paper trail. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
I'll give you
Need
two
that.
in case whatever one that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you can, and on the
But
sheet.
hold on. And if you would like one, we might sell you one.
Yeah.
We'll show you how.
Yeah, we'll show you how.
Go.
That's true. But they have it. I have it when I give it to you. You can just change the names at the top to whatever it is.
We're going to get you a discount.
Yeah. Yeah, just change the name at the top.
Well, I could use it, although the bookkeeper that I had before you. Okay, well, I still have her for the business of it. Angela does my bookkeeping for the inside, and the outside I have somebody else. But between Frank and I, we have a couple other things that we do. So want to keep all of those receipts and keep up with that
Right.
stuff, because right now I'm just like snapping pictures and
Well,
all
yeah,
over the
and
place,
also, too, with your what you taught me, and I really do, the snapping pictures and whatever. Once you do it, they have to upload it and just put it in a little file on your your thing, and you don't have to worry about it because you have the
Wow, that's
pictures on that, for that. So yeah, I honestly. I gave my assistant my stuff. It was stacked in the book. I don't have time. My number one right hand assistant that left me, she was on it. She scanned everything, and all I had to do was just print it out, or she calculated and summarized it.
Man, that would be lit though. If you could actually have a software that all you had to do was take a picture, upload it, and based on the picture,
category?
it knows what category.
Well, Nick
They
was
had
told me,
that.
yeah, they
Right,
have
it knows what
that.
category to put it in. Yeah.
You list the category or just add it to it.
You can list it.
And do it. Yeah, it really
it
does.
exists. I used to have it.
Yeah.
Like several
Okay,
years ago.
so I'm not going to create it then.
No, but right now, just to get them so they can just help me out, because to get boxes, the only one that I really accept, like Michael has an electrical company, Michael Flamu. He's my sweet, nice client. I never met him, but he just sends me stuff all the time. But he has paperwork about that thick. He's an S corp, and to show the trust issues, because I worked with him in 2015. I didn't know S Corp. He sent it to me because someone referred him to me, and they said I came highly recommended. I looked at the stuff. I had this stuff for like 30 days, and I said, I don't know what I'm doing. That's exactly what I said. And so I called him up and said, Michael, I'm seriously, I don't understand what I'm doing. I put it in, but it's all gibberish to me. And he said, I trust you, Andrew. You'll figure it out. Now, at that time, he was $8.5 million in his electrical company. And I told Wallace, I said,
Is he married?
yeah, he's married. I told Wallace, he said he trusts me. I just got on the phone and called my daughter and said, I need a CPA so he can help me understand S Corp. And one of her fishing buddies was a CPA. He passed on from COVID, but he was my right-hand man. He told me how to bill. He did it and said, okay, go home and do it. And I'm like, it still was gibberish. I said, could you just file this man's taxes for me? I'll pay you, you know what I mean? And then I took a class on S Corp so I can understand. I still wasn't sure. When I was out of balance, I would just send it over to him, to John, and say, I'm out of balance. What do I do? What does this mean? And he would walk me through it. And so that helped me. And so in my training and tax class now, you meet a lot of CPAs, you meet a lot of EAs.
You mean that one you do Martin Luther King weekend?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or when you just do
Inside, that's the inside.
Yeah, that's the inside. They're attacking me here.
every
But
single year.
yeah. So she's working with me. It's just so you learn so much in taxes. This is a must that you must do. You have to love people. You have to love what you do, and it cannot be just for the money.
Right.
Oh,
You cannot.
Look right there.
You cannot be just for the money. You have to love. Most of my people, I would love to get rid of them, a lot of them. But I know they will fall under if it wasn't for me until I hit that big number, you know what I mean, and find an island. But they'll find me. I know they will.
With their box.
Yeah, with their box and
I
everything.
had a question. So the very first time somebody came to you with a paper size box of receipts, what did you say?
What the hell is that? That's exactly what I said.
Did you have them go through the box with you, or how did?
No, I looked. Seriously, when I got the first, my older daughters, they can't work for me because they say honestly, and I'm sorry, I'm saying this. They say, why they send you all this shit? That's exactly what they said.
Like, that's
why do they don't know? I said you have to calculate it because of what their nature of their business. Every receipt counts. And they would be there and they will be fussing, but they will be putting it together. Now both of them are business. One's a nurse, one's a businessman. They be fussing the whole time, but they be doing it because I was so stressed. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to quit. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It's too much work. And they came in, they actually outlined the business. They told me my days off. They told me when I see clients, when I don't see clients, and I put it all in place, what they said.
Yeah, right.
And I did, you know, and I put it all in place, and it helped me a whole lot. It did. It helped me. It helped me. Like I feel like I was regulating things. I had some type of system in place because I was all over the place. You know,
gotta have a system, and then what is the other thing? The business mission.
Yes.
And the business plan. You gotta have all those things in place.
But
operating procedures.
Right.
Yeah.
But please,
What?
if they starting a business and they just want to get a LLC. If you're starting a business and you want to get an LLC, go through American Incorporated. I'm not plugging them, or go to any type of corporate company that
what?
houses businesses that will give you everything. Because on my last class that I just took for businesses, full in-depth businesses, in a corporate, you should have the stock, you should have the chart of accounts, your tiers, you should have your corporate seals, you know what I mean, the nature of everything.
So they do all this for you?
Yes, they do everything for you. So all you do is pay them and give them your name. They sign you up for every state you want to work in.
So you're telling them to be a corporation?
Nope, just start their business.
So this company will do up to a corporation.
All the way up to a corporation.
Okay, gotcha.
And that way
What's the name of it again?
It's called American Incorporated.
Okay.
And they will do it. At the time I did it, I think I paid like $350, but I know that was years ago. I think one of my clients I walk with, that he just paid, I think he just did part of it because he just started a small S. S ain't small, but and I asked him when I got back, he said he had a seal. They gave him everything. They give you everything. They give you a whole folder, a zip bag with everything in it, and you just fill it in, fill in your places. And so that's a problem that a lot of businesses, IRS can come in at any time and say you're not a business. Yes, they can. If you don't have the corporation set up, all the documentation under your business set up.
So then they could just take that package right there to the bank to set up their banking account, their business bank account.
You have to have that in order to get. I found that out even for myself through Navy, that you have to have that seal. You have to have article what is that? Articles incorporation and everything before banks. Well, you can go to any bank like Wells Fargo or something and say you got a business, you want to open it up and have that tax ID number. You can. Mm-hmm. But if you want to go to credit union or higher standard bank, it's best to have all that one. Okay. And insurance is a must. You know what I mean? If you're a small business, limited liability, sole proprietor, they can take everything from you. If you're a sole proprietor and you do something wrong, you gone. They can sue everything. Limited liability, that means that they are limited in what they can get from you because this is the business and your name is separate. you know.
So an LLC and a sole proprietorship are different.
Yes, they are definitely different.
How?
Sole proprietor is just you. Okay. And it's your, even if you got an ID number, it's your social security number, because it's just you. You ain't got nothing. So everything you got for this business, whatever somebody want to take, they taking it from you.
So you would never advise anyone to do
No, not if they, I would tell everybody do limited liability.
Okay.
So that means that you're not liable for, you're liable, but not liable for everything.
You're
limited on that liability, yes.
Okay.
And an S corporation is sheltered. Corporation and S is shelter.
Ah.
That's what they are.
Okay. So what's the difference between a tax preparer, a CPA, an accountant?
Well, an accountant does debits, credits, forecasting, and all the paperwork on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
A CPA does forecasting and balancing your books, and they do taxes, but they don't know and keep up with all the tax laws unless they run a tax business.
So which one is that? The CPA?
CPA.
Okay.
CPA, and I'm not saying CPA is not right. I got a lot of my tax friends that are CPAs, but they run a tax business.
Okay.
So that's why they're a CPA, for the tax side of it.
Okay.
So, and then you have the tax accountants. Nothing, that's all you do is just taxes.
Just taxes, okay.
Just taxes.
Wow.
So, and it's a lot, but you know, you gotta love it. I love my clients, you know. They give me a hard time. I give them
You can see it though. That's the part about it. You can literally see that you are really into what you do and you love what you do.
Yeah, I do.
I'm her favorite client.
Yeah, but I do. And I tell a lot of people saying they want to do it, but I've had one of the teenagers work with me, and well, my kids and my husband, all of them said they quit, but I fired them. You know.
If someone wanted to learn, would you teach them?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to start a course, guys. We're gonna
I'll teach them. I'll teach them so they can do it the right. I tell them now. If I tell all my friends, if you want to do the taxes, call me, but not during tax season. Call me on Wednesdays. Don't call me on Sunday. Wednesdays is my day off that I don't see clients. So if you call for a question or saying how you do this, I pull up my software and tell them what line they need to put that on.
Guys, watch this. Go ahead, Tracy. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and do not call her before 10. Maybe he left. Don't do it.
No, because this is what we're going to do. We're going to create a course for you guys. I'm going to interview you with every single question that anyone could have, and we're going to put this on video and audio, and then we'll break it down into 7 to 10 different modules, and then we're going to sell that module.
Yeah, because we're going to have the paper in hand, and I'll say, this is what goes on this line. Don't put that on there. I don't mind that at all.
Then let me ask you this: if someone would like to be a tax preparer, what type of income can they be looking at?
A lot of money. You can, but you have to build trust first of all.
Okay.
Because
trust is going to be one of our modules.
Yeah, trust. You have to have trust, and you gotta watch out for those slicksters. Those slicksters come in and say, "I got a business, and my old tax preparer wrote off this, and this." You sign that preparer. You sign those taxes. You're liable for that business, so they're gonna get you.
Well, how do you know if you're dealing with a slickster?
Oh, I know. You've been in it for a long time, and you start seeing the stuff. I'm like, okay, I ask questions.
So who's the slickster? The person coming to you?
The person that's coming to me. They're coming to me with stuff that I'm asking. They're coming to me with 1099s and W-2s. Okay? So this is, let's just say, the old way. They made them. Okay? Because we had the paper for 1099s and everything, and so there's a little interim back in the day. There was a little interim on the paper of the 1099s that you print off on, and only basically people that know. Well, I was a payroll accountant, so that's how I learned a lot of my tricks and trades. You know what I mean by being a payroll accountant.
So you can't do it any now, slicksters.
Well, no, they kind of like they mask everything now. So, at one time everything was unmasked, the ID numbers and everything else. But the payroll, if you had just any kind of payroll. And another thing to tell you just a little bit about the criminal stuff that they have out
We
there.
talking criminality. Go ahead.
They have, I learned this in class. When you die, all that stuff on the obituary is all your information that the people need to file your taxes with.
Say that again.
Except for your social.
But they can get your social
Now they have your information.
and now they have
Hold
your
on, hold on.
information.
Say that again. In the obituary.
In your obituary, they have all your information
Your full name.
to file that dead person's taxes. I have
Oh wow.
and file it and say that they're still alive.
That's still oh, that ain't never crossed my mind.
The little
Yes.
slicksters.
Yes, they do.
To keep you alive.
And just another thing too, just to give you a note, like when you go to the hotels, I had to do what is it? A 17-page WIS. That means like if I get hacked, right? And I have to have a security plan in it. And learning through these security plans, I learned that when you go to a hotel, they're gonna give you a key card. Don't give it back.
You mean?
Keep it.
Yeah, I keep
Destroy
Oh
it.
it.
wow. Okay.
Keep it.
I would drop it into the thing. I would drop it into the return.
It has all your information on that one card from that room.
Oh wow.
I always tell my mother that. Stop turning the key
What
on.
information?
It knows you got a
credit
room.
Yeah.
All your information is in the hotel while it's tied to that room.
Oh my God.
I always tell her.
Yes.
So what do the people do? Take them and stick them in
No,
a
that's right. They can decode them.
Yeah.
Oh.
They can decode them. When they get, it depends. Well, I'm not saying the hotels do, but I'm just saying that they have somebody that work in a hotel that's going to pick them up to do random things. Just put it in. Don't put it in a box.
Just keep it.
Just keep it and
That's
destroy it
why-
when you get home.
And a lot of times they tell you we don't need it back to
They don't,
keep.
they don't
Yeah.
charge you for
Yeah, they
it.
don't charge you for
No,
it.
they changed them now, so you just electronic and everything. That's just one of the things. And I was saying, it's just funny how I had two people that as death. Two of my clients died. I'm going through fraudulent now, for their taxes. Now, guys, I'm gonna tell you, I know a lot of people want to mail their stuff to IRS. Don't do it. Don't mail. Don't mail, please.
I took my stuff to IRS. It's still not in the
That
system.
has because it's sitting. IRS has. Just say IRS is not processing 2021 until 2020 is finished, and they're still not finished 2020. And they're all sitting in a big room in a holding tank. I had a class with the liaisons of IRS, and they showed us all the pictures. So
Anybody get a hold of that stuff?
So
No,
what is sitting there? I mean, people are
your
getting
taxes.
refunds.
This is how IRS it's not enough. They're supposed to be hiring 87,000 or however many people they hire. The system to stop fraud in the IRS in the system. Here we go. The assembly line. You put in number 1 to 10. When you done, you sign off. You give it to him. He put in from 11 to 14. He signed off. He sends it to me. I put in from 15 on, and it goes on to everybody. But like we said, fat finger error, because he's not checking your work.
True.
He's just passing it on.
Correct.
So sometimes another thing I learned is that when you get an IRS notice, a CP 2000 or state of Maryland, whatever notice it is, and they say they recalculated, go back to your accountant and have them put their calculations in to see if it's right, because their system, it could be wrong too.
Wow.
But that's just something that I do.
Yeah, I feel like electronically is always.
Yeah, well, I still have clients that like to mail them. And if
Yeah,
you're
that's
fraud,
what
you
I
have no
mail
other
to
way. You have no other way if it's fraud on there. And so I'm glad that, and the same thing for if I do an amendment. If you do an amendment for taxes now, I can do the amended electronically, but it's still going to sit there because it has to be manually keyed in on their side. So it's not a joke, when they say that. But the fraud is real. for people, you don't know why they want to steal your information or why they're trying to deuster. But in my line of business, I love the clients. I love helping them because they've been lied to for so long. And if your tax accountant say you can't do this, find somebody else. If I told you you could do something and they say you can't, find somebody else.
Because she misses the MLK weekend tonight.
You see, they're going to give me a hard time because I'm missing this weekend. But yes, but it's a love. It's a love.
It's gotta be. All those numbers dancing around your head, all those different personalities.
It's not me.
What's not you?
It's not me doing the work.
Who's doing it? The computer?
It's the Holy Spirit. When I go and sit down and do anybody's taxes, when I start my day,
come on now,
I say, Holy Spirit, this is not me.
Come on now.
I say, I don't even like numbers. People don't believe I don't like numbers.
I said it a couple of times. I believe it.
And I sit there and says, whatever it is they need, show me how to give it to them. And a lot of times it turns from red to black, and I'm just keying in numbers, which I know is in my mind. I can tell you what a program is or whatever. And I'm like, oh, they could do this. And then I'll call them up and say, hey, didn't you tell me you gave your mother $500 for her electric bill? That's a deduction. That's a donation.
Can I write off all the food I buy for my mother?
Yeah, if it's special food.
It's not.
Oh.
It could be. I mean, I could call it special.
It's special food.
It's special food.
Black seed oil.
Yeah, the black, all that's deductible. She has to have it for healing.
Yes, the powder, the green powder.
Yep.
Every morning at 9 a.m., don't forget to take your green powder.
Yep, it is. It's a deductible.
That's every morning.
You'd be surprised what's deductible. That's why I say when you have a business, your life is a tax deduction. You just got to know what line to put it on. You know what I mean, and how to balance it.
It's been a lifesaver for me, I tell you. Yes.
Yes. So, but I love it. Wow. I do.
I
we
would
love
never
you,
go-
Miss Angela.
Yeah, I
This
know I
has
do.
definitely been insightful to me.
Since,
Wow.
IRS tax time is coming.
Tax
Get your
time is
papers
coming.
together.
Yes.
Don't torture your tax preparer this year. Try to get those papers together.
And guys, I will tell you, if you like what you're hearing, hit the like button. Share this with someone who will probably need to hear this, because especially if like I said, most people who are watching us are entrepreneurs. So share this with your friends. Let them know, because I guarantee you there's something that you heard here that they don't know. Just share it with them, and they'll definitely be appreciative. So hit the like button. So would you like to add anything, Miss Angela?
No. This has been real, but my email address is info@angelastaxandfinancialservices.com.
So that's
my website number too.
Info at
Angela Tax and Financial
Services.com. And that's the website also.
That's the website also, yeah.
So guys, make sure you reach out to her.
She been doing my taxes for a long time. Long time. And I done sent her some folks that aren't leaving.
I have families. That's just it. Once you get one person, and I've had a senior who's been owing taxes for 23 years, and when her daughter finally got her to come to me, she couldn't believe it. She looked at her taxes 4 or 5 times and said, "You sure? You sure? You sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure." They were paying. I can tell you, if someone died and you're a senior and you're getting their pension, your husband's wife, uncle, cousin, sister, brother, pension, death is not taxable. Death benefits are not. Life insurance is not taxable. Now, maybe 401ks, they are taxable. But not the life insurance, and not for spousal if they're getting their military benefit. None of that is taxable. And a lot of my clients don't know that. They put it on their taxes. And if they're disabled, I started now to say, "Oh, you retired military? Are you disabled?" Because they don't know. And if you're disabled, none of your money counts.
Should we be telling
Or if
them?
it's, you tell them the percentage, and I
Okay,
calculate the percentage.
Are we not
I
telling our
calculated the
tax person?
percentage.
I don't know. Yeah, because I'm 90%.
Well, you, whatever it is, if you got $100,000, 9%, only 10,000 is taxable.
10,000 of your.
Whatever it is, like if he's 90% disabled, and whatever his dollar amount is,
Only 10.
only 10% is taxable.
And they should know that.
Yeah, I have.
Who should know that though?
Your tax
He
person.
would have to tell.
You have to tell
Oh yeah,
them.
you gotta tell them.
No, but I asked them when I found one. I'm like, this disability, how much
My
is it?
God, we getting ready to go into the
And you can
military.
have that amended.
The military people, we are. This is for you.
Also, another thing in the state of Maryland and some Virginia, if you a firefighter, EMT, police officer, judge, but if you're a judge, but Maryland give you a tax credit for emergency. Maryland gives you a separate tax credit for up to $15,000 for all those medical people that happen on that. So yeah, a lot of people didn't know that either. Actually, I didn't even know that until I happened to be talking one day to one of my classmates, and he said, you know, they passed that law for EMT to get their deduction for the state of Maryland. And I'm like, well, she said, look it up. So hey, I went on there and looked it up. I'm like, oh, okay, go right here.
Hold on. So let me circle back for my military people.
Yes.
So all the people that I know that are 100% disabled veterans,
It's not taxable.
what is not taxable?
Their money
Up
that
to
they
only
get.
10.
No, she said 100. If
they're
they're 100%,
100.
you don't even have to put it on your. You can put it on
Meaning the disability money or the income that they're making
the
from their job.
disability money is not taxable.
Okay, yeah. I
The
understand.
disability money is not taxable. And I have challenges on that too. And I've uploaded the letters and showed them their letters, their military.
Look, are they getting a 1099 or a W-2?
They're getting a 1099 and they're getting a 1099-R.
Well, see, a lot of time with the military people, if they are, with their disability and they have the retirement, well, they're paying. If they're just simply retirement, they pay regular taxes on their retirement, and then once they have their disability, they still pay the taxes on their retirement pay minus the amount of your disability. But now, once you get to 50%, then you double dip. You get your retirement and you get your disability. Then you paying taxes on your retirement, but you don't pay any taxes on your disability.
So yes, I had a client that recently, I just uploaded her stuff because they said she owed $13,000. And I'm like, didn't you tell me you were disabled? But send me the letter, you know? And I just attach the document, send it up, or even fax it.
They killed that what?
And a lot of them got money back.
Wow.
Yeah, that was work too.
I guess IRS says, well, they don't know, and it's not our
Oh,
job.
right,
That's just
right,
it.
exactly.
IRS is not here to circumstances anything. What you send them is stone. They not gonna research it. They don't care or anything else. What they send them is stone. That's it.
And it's your job to know before you send it to them.
Yeah, but don't send me your amendments, okay? Because it is a lot. I mean, I have amended a lot of them that, you know, they didn't. After I said it to one, it trickled down. You know what I mean? And they gave them the money back. Yeah. And so the same thing for donations. You know what I'm saying? Like donations is $5,000. You know, on cash donation is well, I usually 10% or whatever. But if you had a client that his father died, but his father's building a church, he had $119,000 in donation. I put it on there, but I also uploaded every one of the thank you letters to show that he gave the money away. You know what I mean? And he got.
You had to upload thank you letters as proof?
Yep.
Wow.
Because I don't want them. He in Louisiana. They would come back to me and get these letters and said, this is over exceeding, you know. I have a lady, she's retired now. She helped all the homeless. They challenged us on her donations because she had it signed off on different churches and everything, but because she was using her military that wasn't taxable, her military income, they told her she could only write off just her income. And her income could not go to zero for donations. She said, Angela, let's just cut it in half. So when she sends it all to me, I just do it in moderation to keep it, because I've been to court with them before on this, you know. But I do. I go to
court for you.
If you
She
get
gets
a
those
CPU,
taxes done.
if you get a
knows
CP
the
2000
laws.
number, don't call them. If I'm your client, if you're my client, you don't call IRS, because they're not gonna talk the lingo to you like they're gonna talk to me, because I know the statutes and how long things supposed to be. Like my client that owes $72,000, we call IRS on a speakerphone, and because I didn't have the 2848 in front of me, she had to ask, could he speak to me? So she was talking to him all kinds of ways and said, I want this in 15 days. I said, the statute code is 45 days. I just got this client, so that means I get 60. She says, well, okay, Miss Gordon, give me the date on the calendar when you're going to have this by. And believe me, I took it to the 60th day, too.
Yeah.
Actually, I finished in the
60 days.
Yeah, 60.
Yeah.
But they do. They talk to you if you don't know the lingo and say, well, wait a minute. Especially if you just came to me. They can't harass me and they're trying to fix something that you did. You know what I mean? Or somebody else did.
Right.
So.
Wow, this was very interesting.
Yes,
this
guys.
evening.
Oh my God. This.
That's why you work here at Prime Resource Property Management as the bookkeeper.
Love you. Yes.
Well, guys, we're going to jump on out of here, and we are so happy, and hopefully you got some great value out of this. Once again, make sure hit the like button, comment, subscribe to our channel, because we're looking to grow, so we are asking you for that. Just take a second, boom. It's real simple, not hard at all. But we're going to get out of here. Thank you, Ms. Angela. Totally appreciate
Thank you, Miss Angela. That was just great.
Yes.
This is your partner, Frankie P. And remember, you change your perspective, you change your life. When
Yes.
you change your perspective, you change your life. When you change your perspective and you understand the IRS codes, the tax codes, know what's going to happen, you're going to change your life. Peace. Get out of here.